Look what's here. All right, look what's here. Get to unbox today. Mike at Warmouth Pickups and I were talking. He asked what I was looking for, and my Warmouth Tele never really got a pickup set that I liked in it. It's gone through several different neck and bridge pickups. Neck pickup has pretty much stayed the same as a mini humbucker that's supposed to be very much like a Gibson mini humbucker. The bridge pickup, I just never got exactly what I wanted. Anyway, so Mike asked what I wanted. I gave him some pretty technical specs. So he sent this. Oh, good. He wrote down about what I'm looking at as far as the output and what the pickups are made of. And this is their new packaging. So he's got the nice foam packaging. But look at this. Oh my goodness. How beautiful is that? Can you see that? Let's see if we can focus in on that. So my Warmouth Tele has a standard bridge pickup and a mini humbucker in the neck. And so it's kind of a unique size in that a Firebird style humbucker or a mini humbucker will fit. You'd actually have to route it out to put a Filtertron in there. So decided to stick with that. These are Alnico 3 magnets, and he used this cool, I don't know if that's nickel or chrome cover. I'd actually asked for the extra long pole so we can get some juice out of that sucker. And he also did on this guy, you can see it's got the copper plate, awesome. It's a stacked pickup, so it's actually hum canceling as well. In the guitar, right now, I've got it set up so I can do series parallel switching with the neck pickup to get me 5 different tones in the guitar. Man, these look beautiful. And in case you can't tell really, that's actually a beautiful wood grain. My guitar has a zero coat fingerboard, and so he was trying to do something dark and rich to match it. So super premium, super awesome. I'm excited. Thanks, Mike. I'm a little bit of an advocate for this. Make sure you loosen your strings before you cut them. You don't want to end up with a string end in your eye. I also like to cut them closer to the bridge so there's less to get out of there. And use a good pair of wire cutters too. So I assume you love your guitar. Little things you want to make sure you do. Remove this stuff slowly. Put your fingers around the screws so you don't lose them. Lose the tip of your screwdriver into the top of your instrument. Having something pretty and then ruining the finish because something silly is an awful thing. I've had it happen to me before. And scratches from playing it. A little frustrating. But you can't just let it sit and hang. You gotta play it, especially when you've dumped a lot of money into it. As you can see, I've got quite a bit going on in here. I was messing with some tone hacks. Just wanted to show you what I had in here before. This is an Artec mini humbucker, neck position. When I bought it on Amazon, it stated, we use the nickel cover, and it's the same spec as the Gibson and even the Gibson wiring. It sounded pretty darn good, but it was a little on the weak side, so I decided it needed to come out. This is also Artec, and it sounded like it would be really pretty cool. It's a stacked humbucker, but it's supposed to be spec'd out to be more of a, a Tele 50 style sound. This was weak and sounded like poop. It had to come out. So, in go the warp cores. All right, I'd asked Mike at Warp Core for the longer Alnico magnets, kind of like what Fender puts in the Twisted Tele neck pickup. And you can see that even though the cover is a little shorter, the overall size is longer. So he definitely put those in. Very cool. Again, man, look at that. Beautiful wood grain. Yeah, in they go. plenty of lead. I want to put it in the right direction so the print, if you can see that, faces the right direction. Another reason I like that these are a little taller is because I'm mounting the pickup direct to body, and the other one was a little short for my liking. All right, so one thing I wanted to do is, before trying to mount this in the bridge, I want to make sure that these screws and the holes have the pilot holes already in them. The screws I'm using happen to be self-tapping screws, so I can just make sure that everything looks good. This one I need to make sure is dead straight because I went to put it in and it wanted to go in at an angle. So we don't want to ruin our pickup before we even get it in the guitar. I kind of already know about that. Mike can tell you. All right, that looks straight. All right, let's get it mounted. So we want to get it mounted straight. We're going to clean off this bridge plate before we screw it down, get strings back on it, because we do not want to leave it all fingerprinty if we don't have to. Got this one set up so it's actually grounded to the plate. That's got solder on it. Goes around the mounting screw, and it is an appropriate ground. Very good. You've probably seen it on a bunch of videos already, but I'll do it too. When you're using screw holes that have already been used, you want to back up the screw until you feel it grab, and then turn it clockwise to tighten it down. This is keeping you from starting new threads and weakening the mount of the screws, keeping it from stripping out. No dowels required. You can actually even hear it on this guitar. And there we go. And again, use your fingers to guide those screws so you don't lose, and the screwdriver so you don't lose it and have it just totally maim your guitar. This particular bridge actually has those 4 mounting screws and 2 more up top. This comes in Fender's American Professional 2 guitars. It's kind of a take on the vintage bridge, but it's got the compensated brass saddles. It also has this notch here for guys that don't like that big ashtray sticking out in the way. It's really designed well so you don't have sharp spots or anything. Love this bridge. All right, here's a reminder to either use screws that you know are the right size or cut them to fit, to make sure that if you're mounting directly to the body, that they're not going to go all the way through on you. So I just measured the depth of the hole all the way down to the bottom and just made sure that these screws cannot end up going through the body. And what better piece of foam to use as a riser than the foam that came in the box that's already cut to be the exact size of the pickup. Okay, just a reminder, when you have nickel or chrome covers, get those all shined up and stuff before you mount them. That way you end up with fingerprints and stuff, especially on nickel, that end up permanent. Another little pointer, I don't know if you saw that little glob fly off while I was soldering. This is a poly finish on this guitar, so it's pretty safe. But if this was a nitro finish, I would have left a mark. So my suggestion then is to put something over the guitar so you don't get solder on it. Risk any damage. Things we learn as we go and then we forget to do. And I've seen a few videos where I've seen people not mask off their guitar or put something over it and it ends up getting damaged. So that one's pretty. This one is not as pretty, so I'm going to retouch it. Just make sure both things are pre-tinned and then solder on the soldering iron itself. Once it cools, check your connection. Looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little shrink on that and it's going to be ready to go. Another tip, keep your workbench clean. Mine's becoming quite a mess and I don't like it at all. In fact, it's driving me a little bonkers. Just size up the heat shrink the right size so it fits over everything nicely. A lot of people just use the soldering iron, which I know is a preferred method. Heat gun's good, but it takes a second to heat up. I'm going easy and fast. This leaves soot though, so you got to watch out for that. This is just to help keep, I'm not really worried about shorts, but I'm also going for pretty because this is my nice guitar. All right. All right, I'm using heat shrink to close off where the coils come together on the bridge pickup. It's hot, so I can smash it like that. That way it's now not going to short out. This I am going to separate because I'm going to wire the neck pickup for series parallel switching with the 5-way super switch. That way I can get 5 different positions, all very usable. Yep. Clean, pretty, happy.